Hello, welcome back to my channel and to another reaction video. This time we're checking out the Halo video, Spartan Operations.
The Spartan programs created what for millennia had been the dream of every military commander, a soldier that was stronger, faster, and more resilient, a weapon not confined to the limits of humanity. Through their initial baptism by fire in the insurrectionist conflicts to the end of the most devastating war in the history of mankind, Spartans became renowned for their almost supernatural ability to turn defeat into triumph, hopelessness into raw belief. In victory, the contributions of the Spartans to the destruction of the Covenant was formally recognized by United Nations Space Command. What was once a shadowy element of the Office of Naval Intelligence was brought out into the light, and Spartan Operations was established. The newest branch within the UNSC Armed Forces,
Exactly
Spartan
how
Operations
extremes
represents
are
an
the
end to the use of Spartan super soldiers within the Army, Air
or whatever
Force,
they
Navy,
do to the
and
Spartan
Marines.
soldiers.
Its role, distinct from that of any other special operations institution, is to conduct unconventional warfare, emphasizing sufficiency, stealth, speed, and tactical coordination, all while leveraging the unique capabilities of the Spartans themselves.
I haven't seen the Halo
Though
TV, so
independent,
I
the
know a
branch
lot of
maintains
people
close ties with its
seem
fellow
to dislike it,
services
but I
and is
don't know. I
organized
kinda
under
wanna
the
see it.
overarching military structure
Should
of
I
the
do a
United
reaction
Earth
to it?
Government.
I've only played the
Joint
first
operations
Halo
on
game
terrestrial
way back
battlefields fall
when
under UNSC Unified Ground Command, while interstellar operations are organized under UNSC Naval Command. Spartan Operations remains heavily reliant on this doctrine of joint warfare, commonly sharing assets with the Army and Marine Corps. Officially, the Spartan branch does not follow any hierarchical rank structure, with every Spartan considered an equal. Dominance, authority, and responsibility are instead conferred with more informal titles, ranging from simply Spartan to Fireteam Leader, Mission Handler, and Spartan Commander, with Director of Spartan Operations functioning as the Commander-in-Chief of the service itself. These titles have a loose equivalency to the ranks used within other UNSC branches, used to maintain a united organizational structure during joint operations. Individual Spartans, whose abilities in certain fields are superior to the already high standards of the service, can additionally apply to become specialists in their area of expertise. Doctrinally, Spartan operations are focused on small unit tactics. Their personnel are organized into fire teams, consisting of 4 or 5 Spartans, led by a designated team leader. Fire team members are carefully selected, with Spartans specifically chosen to complement the skill sets and abilities of one another, as well as mitigating any individual weaknesses. It is rare that any more than a single fire team might be deployed as a single combat element. It is instead more common to see Spartans deployed in smaller groups, or even individually. The defining characteristics of the Spartan branch, however, is ultimately their personnel themselves. Recruitment is undertaken not directly from the Unified Earth Government's colonies, but rather from within the other services. Career veterans that have proven their aptitude, and younger soldiers who demonstrate higher potential, are prioritized for recruitment. Every candidate must then undergo a series of physical and psychological tests before undergoing Spartan augmentations. These augmentations involve gene therapy, artificial organ implants, and cybernetic enhancements, custom-tailored to each individual Spartan candidate. The majority of personnel within the service are the result of the Spartan 4 program, with those of previous iterations given the option of serving out the remainder of their careers in their respective current branches of the UNSC. But the augmentation of a Spartan candidate is only the first aspect of their training. Their familiarization with both their enhanced biology and the expectations of the service is primarily achieved through a series of wargames. Emphasis is also placed on a near-universal understanding of the UNSC's weaponry and equipment. A Spartan graduate will be proficient in every common small arm and possess at least a basic understanding of how to operate the UNSC's various vehicles, tanks, jetpacks, and aircraft. A Spartan candidate's training culminates in the selection of their armor. Members of the service are granted the exclusive use of Mjolnir-powered armor, designed to enhance the already heightened
Mjolnir,
abilities of an
seriously?
augmented individual. This armor is highly customizable and adaptive. It might incorporate a reaction control system, active camouflage, and other sophisticated technologies, depending on the parameters of a mission. Members of the public will rarely see a Spartan beneath their armor, and it is Mjolnir above all else that has come to represent the Spartans throughout their history. Though limited numbers of Spartans were active during the UNSC Covenant War and some preceding conflicts, the mass production of augmented soldiers only became possible towards the end of 2552. The unlawful abduction of children to serve as Spartan candidates and the immense expense of their enhancements and training had obstructed the scaling of the initiative. Deficiencies solved within the Spartan 4 program. Advancements in technology meant that adult candidates could now be considered, while genetic alterations were scaled back in favor of technological solutions. A Spartan core numbering in the hundreds of thousands had always been the expectation, and was now practical for the first time. Musagan M, a Spartan 2 candidate left disabled by that program's more dangerous augmentations, was an early proponent of both the Spartan 4 program and the Spartans as an independent branch. An incident involving the attempted capture of the newly commissioned UNSC Infinity in 2553 proved the viability of this concept, and Spartan Operations was established that same year. Since its creation, Spartan Operations have become a pivotal component of the UNSC's ability to respond to internal and external threats. In campaigns against both resurgent insurrectionist elements and rogue post-Covenant splinter groups, it has upheld the track record of success against hostile odds, initiated by its predecessors. But perhaps most importantly, it has given to the Spartans of the UNSC today a formal legitimacy, so that they no longer need sever themselves from their humanity in order to preserve it.
Ooh, that's a cool shot. Well, there you have it, Spartan Operations. And okay, so the one thing that really struck in this video was this before the Spartan 4 program, they would abduct children illegally and do genetic modifications on them, and it was timely and costly, and that's why so few Spartans took part in the Covenant War, which is mainly, the Covenant War and the flood that came after it. That's mostly when the games take place, I think. Again, I've only played some of the first Halo way back when. Didn't really care for the story. Back in those days, it was more about shooting aliens and whatnot. And yeah, the Halo TV show just came out last year, I think. No, a lot of diehard Halo fans seem to dislike it, but I mean that's. I'm not gonna wanna check that one out and pass judgment myself. But yeah, I've done a couple of these Halo lore videos, mostly about the Flood, the Covenant, and the USNC. But yeah, this explains more detailed what the Spartans were, and okay, they were, the kind of tip of the sword type unit, 4 or 5 members, stealth, speed, accuracy, and yeah, I guess you could call them. They're the instead of tip of the sword, they're the hammer strike, since they're wielding Mjolnir armor. But yeah. And yeah, I was wondering just how extreme were the modifications, but yeah, they kind of answered it with the end that with the Spartan 4 program. Adult candidates can be used, and they won't use genetic modification too much. They will rather use mechanical that way. They won't be, too detached from humanity, which I'm assuming that every Spartan before the Spartan 4 programmer is more, well, I don't know, non-human, I guess. But yeah, very interesting, and yeah, what do you guys think? Write your thoughts down below. Open to my next and upcoming, like, subscribe if you want, and I'm seeing another video. Bye.